Okay, so there's a lot happening in Vegas right now, and I'm sure that you. It's bright, too bright. I'm sure you've seen if you've already searched about Vegas, you've seen videos of the strip, of buildings, of construction and stuff like that. There's so much being constructed here. It's like LA, but at least we got space over here to do things. Okay, give you an example. The Bellagio just sold, I think, for $2.4 billion. That was MGM selling that equity. I believe MGM Grand is the next to be sold. I think it's on the market now. So they're selling a lot of their properties. I believe they're gonna focus on something bigger, something big for the future. Given that the Raiders are coming, I'm not driving right now. Given that the Raiders are coming, there's rumors of selling more property because a baseball team's going to come in, or a baseball field's going to be built. Ideally, the city would probably benefit, and this is tough to say, but it would benefit if they destroyed the Rio, because it is sold. But if they were just to destroy it, it's a sad thing to go. But if they were to destroy it and build a baseball field there, that'd probably be the best thing, because everything would just be so close to the strip. Not right on the strip, but so close. Raiders Stadium is like a block away from the strip, 2 blocks away, right next to the Mandalay. And the T-Mobile, which is what hosts the Knights games, is right on the strip. It's right behind New York and Park MGM. And then the Rio is basically just over the bridge over the freeway. I guess like 1 block after that, and that would be a great place for a baseball team. But they need to think about parking. They need to think about where a multi-level parking structure would be ideal. Now, one thing Vegas is doing, I guess the right thing that they're doing, is the flow of traffic. Although during events during the T-Mobile area or Park MGM, there's a lot of choke points. When the cops come and they're all trying to guide you out and get you out to the freeway, get you out to... It's just, yeah. That's the only part that's annoying about this area doing ride share, is that whole thing about being ushered through. Certain points you can drop people off at or pick up. Just when those big events go on. The last big one was the Rock and Roll Marathon. Oh my god, that was a pain. But I basically just worked the morning and did not do the night, just a couple rides, and then that was it. Stayed in Summerlin, stayed close to home. That was it. But yeah, there's a lot of properties being built. One thing I'm really excited for is that the Circus sold, and the guy who bought it, or the person or the business that bought it, is the same business that runs Treasure Island. And Treasure Island is my favorite casino for a lot of reasons. It was one of the last to implement the whole resort fee, which they still did, but they lasted as long as they could. And then it went through a major rehaul, but it holds a special place in my heart because I was here for when the pirate show was there. The real pirate show, not this seductive pirates. Those, if you guys have saw them, I think it was in the 2000s. Anyway, when the real pirates came out, when they had the old logo with the pirate skull and the swords, and the ships would move and they would fight each other, and it was a story. Oh man, that was awesome. It was so cool. Yeah, I missed that. Anyway, it basically they had to retool for the whole, kind of just getting their eye to the new thing, which was honestly just sex sells, shows and provocative attire and all that kind of stuff. I'm just fixing this, sorry. All that provocative stuff, and they succeeded. They came up with the good solution, which was that siren show. But it didn't last too long. For the most part, it's adapting pretty well to what's going on, stuff like that. Although I do feel that the family lifestyle is still heavily present on the strip, if not away from the strip, especially where I live in Summerlin. It's all about family. So if they can just gear something, as far as building or refurbishing the Circus thing to appeal more to a family audience. It does already, but if it appeals more so and more cleaner, they can make a crap load of money. A lot more. Yeah. So, I mean, return customers, and there's a bunch of ways to do it. All they have to do is just hire the right people. The right vision has to be applied to, applying it to the gaming lifestyle versus the family lifestyle. So, I'll give you an example. Like one of my favorite casinos to go to is the Red Rock. Not this just as close to home. The Red Rock Casino has this thing called Kids Quest, which a lot of station casinos do. And you can just leave your kid there. I think it's like $10 an hour, $7 an hour, up to 5 hours, and do your thing. And there you can supply lunch. You can have them buy lunch. It's really cool. They take care of the kids, and you can go gamble. You can go have a date with your significant other in the casino, in the buffet. You can go watch an R-rated movie. It's just awesome. Anyway, there's a demand for that, and they need to see that they can utilize that to Circus, or maybe a new, maybe Resort World when it opens up, something that brings more to the table. That's another thing too. Resort World got pushed back more. There was a lawsuit because it looks like the Wynn, but it's not owned by the Wynn, because there's a whole bunch of stuff in that. Anyway, so yeah, that'd be a cool thing to check out. Also, if you haven't seen my video about the casinos can take your weed, not just weed, but just anything product from a dispensary. It doesn't have to be open. It's sealed. I saw this happen at Caesars. They just came out of nowhere. Guy brushed next to me. He had his just in his in a bag, and they just came up to him. They said, "Sir, you need to get rid of that, or we need to walk you out. You can't consume it on property. Can't have it on property." I was like, "Ugh." Anyway, he spent $150. He was like, "I just put money on this," and he's like, "Sorry, sir, we don't have that on here." Basically, it's like federal law it contradicts. Not contradicts, but the federal law protects you from you can buy it, you can consume it, whatever, but you can't have it on private property, which is state law. Anyway, it's a whole big deal. You can read about more of that. You can read more about that later. So yeah. Anyway, that's just my theory on that. That's my thoughts on it, and hopefully, I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to see what this place is going to be like in a couple of years, because I'm one of those people that moved here. One of the 50,000 from 2018 to 2019. That moved here from California. Now, that was 141,000 nationwide that moved to Nevada, and that's a lot. But 50,000, that's even a bigger number than the last couple of years. It's just been growing. So people have seen this thing about not, being able to sustain a lifestyle, or a comfortable lifestyle in LA or California because of these taxes, because of whatever. Now, it might happen in Nevada where the tax rate goes a little higher because it has to sustain the amount of people that live here, but that's going to be a while from now. And the housing, I swear, you can get a $300,000 home here that would cost you $1.2 million in LA. Anyway, it's ridiculous. So anyway, I will leave you at that, and more information is going to come right at you. Subscribe, like, share. And if you haven't done so already, check out my other channel, which is more family geared. That's Creative Native. And I'll see you guys soon. Okay, peace.